Well, it has been a long time since we started the Night Owls' ninth season, but we're back again for round two here at Monza in Italy. Been ever such a long period of time, you might have forgot who we are. Hello, and welcome back to Night Owl. I'm Jesse Lee, joined by Ted Edwards and Stewie behind the cameras as per usual. Ted Edwards, welcome back.
Thank you, Jesse, and welcome back yourself. It's feels like it's been a few months since we last did this. I almost forgot that we were had a race on tonight.
Well, I have been looking forward to this. It's only been 2 weeks. The last time Not Out race, the first race of the ninth season, was on the 19th of March. It's now the 2nd of April. That is a gap of exactly 2 weeks. And of course, after this week, we'll take another break from Night Out and have another World Tour race. And then we'll be back again on the 16th. But for now, let's focus on the task at hand. We've got racing on a Saturday night, and your guess is as good as mine at who is going to walk away a winner in either class. Let's reflect on race number one in the series 2 weeks ago. If you can think all the way back to the middle of March, it was an excellent race by Samir Foch.
Yeah, he took that by quite distance, I think, as well, over Robin Bar, which was quite nice. Nice to see Foch win a race. Someone who stuck out to me as well was Timothy Flamgo, who finished third in Pro, which was something I hadn't seen before. I forgot Flamgo was that fast, but yeah, it turns out he is, Jesse.
Well, Timothy Flamger, he's the torchbearer for the American drivers in RCI a lot of the time, and it sucks sometimes. He's had some podiums taken away from him, and finally got back on one P3. But let's talk about the second class, or the silver class, if you will. Thiago Silva in the 995 had a fantastic race number one, but that wasn't who I was most surprised about. Giannis, of course, finished in second place. Grim Lilith on a gamepad, P3 at Spa.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere. We were both surprised when we saw him in the P3, but yeah, he had a superb race. He stayed out of all that danger that happened, all the little crashes and mishaps that people had, and he just kept a clean race and yeah, just took away that third place.
It was an excellent race. Of course, Miguel Martins finished the race third, didn't get to keep that because of a very late steward's decision that was necessary. Contact with Miguel, and I think it was a lap car, if I remember correctly. It's been so very long since that race occurred, but either way, contact with another car relegated Miguel down to fourth. Grim in third place. Thiago Silva, like I said, just ran a great race, and it was about as immaculate as it could have been. I think we're going to get a very different show here today. A lot of different names at the top of the field.
I see Alex Rogers is up there with fast time and free practice at the minute, so I wonder what he can do in that lovely M4 of his.
I wonder too. Practice over, qualifying getting underway in one moment. Once everybody has had enough time to finish their current lap, a couple of cars in the Lesmos right now, and once they abandon their lap or they finish their lap, we will forward to qualifying. Not much to talk about standings that we didn't just, but we will have standings from round one, a little refresher of how the championship started off after qualifying is done. Qualifying
Wait,
green here, 15-minute session, 5 p.m. in the oh so familiar Land Rush out of pit lane. Single line of cars. It's like merging onto the M1.
yeah, it does look like it there, Jesse. Yeah, I wonder who's going to be on top in this qualifying session. I'm not sure what car is actually the fastest around here out of all these cars.
I'm going to go not the new BMW and not the Porsche, though the Porsche is not probably the worst pick here. Yeah, though it might be. I have to refer back to Stewie on that one, but I wouldn't want the M4 here, and I would not want a Porsche. There's several cars that would probably be in the running for really good. I know the Ferrari usually shows up here as well, and actually the Bentley is a decent car. Aston, you're likely though going to see a mix up at the top.
Yeah, I think if you're in a slower car, best be to stick behind someone and get that free tow.
I think Timothy Flamger beat everybody out of the pit lane. Saw an interesting divide. The 777 car was the last of the front group that we're with right now that came out. Then there was a little bit of a gap between a second group, and now a third group has released from pit lane, just entering the Seconda Variante, and a couple of cars, looks like the 44 and the 8, still yet to make their way out of pit lane. In fact, they are doing now. Looks like the 8 might come out just in front of Timothy Flamger here.
Yeah, that might be a little bit annoying for Flanger if he catches up. Due to the car in front will be on colder tyres. So hopefully they will either move out of the way or just keep that pace up.
Well, folks, you ever been to Monza? I sure have. It's usually a headache, and heartburn turn is turn number 1. The first chicane, a tight right left-hander, sets you out onto a nice turn 2, nice rounded turn. There's no general consensus on what's quicker here. You can run around the outside, you can run around the inside or the middle. Doesn't necessarily matter. Every driver has their own style, and of course, sometimes the car matters as well. Turn 3, the Seconda Variante. Very, very tight left and right, almost identical to the first. So nice, they did it reverse and twice. And then the very special Lesmo turns. 2 very different turns. Lesmo 1 is more of a sweeping turn. You want to carry as much speed as possible. Turn number 2 is more tight. You have to slow down and bang off the curb as much as you dare, but get on the green part and you will be out into the sand trap. And then it is a short left-hander downhill and under the oval banking before we get to Ascari, a turn that needs no introduction. The left-right-left combination is a cheat code in some Konami video game, I'm assured. But here, you want to stay off the baguettes on the inside and the outside. But if you have a AMG, perhaps, or some other cars like a Bentley, you might try and cut as much of that final left as you possibly can. There is time. If you're in a car like the McLaren, you might elect to ignore it. Parabolic in the final corner on the track as well. Go as tight as you dare to the inside, and a run out. Not quite the run out that I expected, but Flamger looks to have set a valid lap, and he has, and it's a 48.322.
I can't remember if that's fast or not, Jesse. I can't remember what a lap time round here is, but we'll see more people cross the line. Thiago Silva's just done a 48.2 already, and then Lucas Sidor has done a 48.2 as well. Alex Rogers with a 48.1, so yeah, people getting faster and faster, and obviously the more rubber being put down, the faster people go. We'll see if we get a 47. I think we'll see a 47 today, Jesse.
Yeah, I don't think it will stay that way for long. Alex Rogers had the quickest lap in Madison, now quickest in the 60 Honda. Oh no, we forgot about the Honda in a straight line. We forgot about that, but a 47.935. Your prediction comes true very early into this session.
I wonder if he's taken all that wing off that Honda just to get that straight line, because that mechanical grip on the Honda is pretty good. Driven it before, and it is a lovely car to drive around here.
Excuse me, is this team named Frog Stomp Racing?
I love it.
I hope that it's got a lot of curving, it's got a lot of things, there's a lot of stuff going on, and John Madison loving it so far, the quickest the first way around.
Yeah, that's a really good time. See if anyone else can beat him.
I think there certainly will be a couple of rivals. Timothy Flamger's second lap looking like an improvement. Could this be a sign of things to come? Flamger several tenths up on his lap. It could be more than half a second when he gets to the line. It's mega, a 47.840. Maniac Mavericks, Timothy Flamger.
Oh, that's nice. Nice to see the close Close qualifying, Jesse. Always puts you on an edge.
I just noticed Samir Fosh's got a new team name. He's now Code Brown Racing.
Oh.
Yeah, I have a couple of ideas of what that might be, but I'll leave it. P6 for Samir Fosh. You know, Fosh wasn't in the top 20 in in practice prior to this. I was a little bit worried about your championship leader, Samir Fosh, but turns out no need to worry at all. Derek's son coming to the line. That could be a good lap and is P4, a 48.122. We saw I believe it was a Silva that signed out of the race today, and we were worried that it might be our Silva, Thiago Silva. It was not. It was a different Silva, and Thiago Silva is here in the race today.
Bill Madison's gone quickest again with 47.8. 2.5 over Flamger's 8.40, so very close between those two people. Very close.
Looking to improve. You can never look past Krzysztof Stachecki in the 144, but probably should have looked past that curb. Remember earlier I said Macker should not hit that curb on the outside? Well, that is probably best case scenario of what happens when you do. Through the Parabolica and up the front straight. Stachecki up inside the top 10. P7 for a moment, down to 8th. Lucas Cedar goes P2 with a 47.827. Madison, a 47.825. The current quickest of anyone but Martin Lawrence in the 171. The CLR old V12 has yet to set a quick lap. This is going to get them on the board, I think. But, oh, no, it didn't, in fact. A still invalid lap, a second invalid lap for the CLR driver.
I forgot about Martin because he wasn't in the last race. He signed out of race 1. So I missed out on the V12 scream. Now, pretty sure this car's quite fast around Monza. So I really want to see what time he can pull out. I'm pretty sure there is another V12 as well, unless they aren't in today's race, but I will find that out.
There's a couple of really interesting car selections here. We've got Lexus, we've got Honda, we've got the old V12 Aston as well. I don't think the old BMW, which is actually a fair good pick around this point. In fact, due to its straight line speed, but don't see a GTR, otherwise we would have all the Infinity Stones.
It was Max Payne, but it looks like he's not in today's race. I think he championship signed out, so that's unfortunate. But we still have one V12 in this, so that makes me happy.
Well, one V12 is as good as another. You'll definitely hear it before you see it. Martin Lawrence trying to set a valid lap in this session. Got 30 plus cars, and unfortunately, Martin Lawrence finds himself at the tail end of all of them. The only car yet to set a valid lap is the 171, looking to rectify that trend this time through. I think they're still on a valid lap. It looked good to me on the camera, but is it good on the stopwatch? It is. From 31st to P4, easy, says CLR's Martin Lawrence. Alex Rogers goes to P1. The Aston Martin, with a 4 in the middle there for those of you at home. The 119 goes to provisional pole. What an excellent lap. And did he have a little front straightaway suck right there to help him?
That's 5,000, 7,000 from first to third. That very close.
You had no comment on the suck, Ted Edwards?
Always like the suck, Jesse.
It looked good to me. Grim Lilith now finds themselves near the bottom of the pack, and not a track you would typically associate with the Porsche doing particularly well, but they have surprised us in the past. Grim trying to get out of the cellar here.
rocking a new livery today by the looks of it.
You wouldn't have anything to do with that, would you?
Oh, maybe I did. Oh,
Grim,
28th.
yeah,
Moved up.
Grim does improve
Good.
there. Gets a couple of tenths off of the lap time and 4 minutes left to play. Another chance to get a couple more in it. And at the top of the heap, Alex Rogers has a few more attempts to improve his lap time as well, holding a very, very tiny 5/1000ths or so over Madison and Sider, top three so far.
The top
Sevchik
5 are very
and
close.
they are Sevchik, Savalainen, and Lawrence were all in the pit lane as they
Savalainen,
reset.
yeah. Savalainen just jumped into 6th, so
Look
yeah,
at how close it is up
it's
at the front of this field.
is the 66 in the new or the old beamer? Let's have a look. In the new, so Savalainen's in the M6 and Sevchik, I believe that's how you say it. I'm so sorry. He's in the new one and Savalainen's in the old one. So in the new one still has the speed, Jesse.
Yeah, I love how we have theories on how cars handle and we make up all these rules in our head and then we go race them and they're pretty much even and it basically destroys your notebook. If I was a racing engineer, and I'm happy to say that I am not, it would be enough to make me pull my hair out because you're like, oh, well, statistically on a straight that, the old BMW should be miles better and it may as well do, but in the corners, the BMW makes up the difference and there's literally nothing in it. It's basically pick your poison. So this could be mega for Juna Savalainen. The still getting slower team is doing anything but. They're up a quarter of a second. They're only 67/100ths off of the pole position. This could be a pole busting lap. More than 4/10ths up coming off the parabolica and onto the straightaway. Has a little bit of suck as well. This is going to be mega, and it's to the top. 47.645 destroys the field. Juna Savalainen on provisional pole. Does anyone have anything for him? Savalainen has immediately called it quits. No attempt at a rebuttal. It's come all comers as Rogers, Madison, Sider, and Flamger are all going to try one last ditch effort. They all need about 2/10ths to take the pole from Savalainen.
That is a superb lap, and I bet he's jumping around in that car now on the radio to his pit saying, "Yes, I did it!" And yeah, I'd be extremely happy if I got that. And that's quite a big lead as well, as you see Sean making a bit of a mistake, so he can still get around to do another lap if he doesn't put it in the gravel.
I think he has worked it out in his head and has realized that no, he would just be a
Does he
little
not have
bit shy. Yeah, I think it was very close, but he slowed down to let the cars by, and well, now he is resigned to the fate. He will not get a shot to overtake Rogers or Savalainen for the pole, but if Madison stays there, it's still the second row of the grid. That is fantastic starting spot in a car with decent speed as well. But all eyes on Alex Rogers, the 119 BMW. What can they do to answer back to Savalainen in a Scari now? It looks good, but I worry it might not be good enough.
Yeah, if Alex can take this away from Savalainen, that'd be pretty mega for Alex. He didn't have a very good first round one, so this will obviously boost his confidence. Qualifying has finished, so let's see what he can pull out the bag.
Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, and it was close. He gained a full 10th, and he rode that all the way to the start-finish line. Stachecki trying to get inside the top 10, and goes P2! The dark horse almost does it, half a 10th off of pole, but so close between the top three up front. Excellent stuff. We're not done, folks. We got more cars coming, and one of them is Bruno Madre.
Yeah, that lap time came out of nowhere. That was a very nice lap time. So let's see what Madre can do. Let's see if he can beat the top two silvers.
But he's going to go ahead and, oh, that was a violent reset. Didn't like it. I don't understand. It looked like he was up on his time fractionally. He might have been able to get another spot there, but elects to eject himself. Here's South Africa's Rudy Philmalter going to P12. Pick up there at the end of 48.122. Good enough for the top 12 starting spot. We haven't talked about Alessio Mellis or seen the Spinella team car yet today. Well, here he is, P24. Probably feels a little out of place, looking to improve here.
I like that red. That's a very nice red he's chosen for that car. I do approve.
24 now. Where's he going to end up? Hey, there you go.
Yeah, that's a bit of confidence boost right there, Jesse Lee.
Yeah, I mean, 24th is absolutely nowhere, but you start inside the top 20, you feel like you have a shot. But look at this. Results of qualifying confirmed. Savalainen quickest in the first sector, Rogers quickest in the second sector, and I believe that Sevchek quickest in the third sector. Stachecki not quickest in any sector, but was only actually less than half a tenth off. But Savalainen and Stachecki, your front row. Rogers, Madison, Sider, Flamger, Sevchek, Lawrence, Padre, Silva, your top 10. Sevchek on pole position in silver over Lawrence and Thiago Silva, your championship leader in third, a row or so back. Where did Samir Foch qualify? P19. Work to do for the championship leader, Ted.
Oh, I think he can do it. I just think he had a bad qualifying. Um, I don't see why I can't do it, but we'll find out. So
Well, that is the result of qualifying. Let's take a look at the championship standings. It's been a couple of weeks since we've raced on a Saturday night in Night Owl. Here's how we left things in Belgium. Samir Foch, 34 points. Robin Baugh, 29. Timothy Flamger, 25. Stachecki, 21. Alessio Mellis, 18. Wouter Billen with 15, who I don't know if the 183 is here tonight. Sean Madison with 13 points. Thomas Pierce on 11. Stefano 9, Cedar 8. And that rounds out your top 10. Looking a bit further back, Tyler Jason LaValle on 7, Savalainen 6. That's definitely gone up. Raphael Huell with 3, Madre 2, Rogers 1. Nobody else received points after round 1. Moving on to the silver fight, Thiago Silva with 34 and the championship lead. Yanis Pervins with 29. Grim Lilith with 25. Your top three. Miguel Martins, 21. Neil Pimlott with 18. Your top five. Rudy Philmalter, 15. Tio Anton, 13 points. Roman Frawler, 11. Ryan Mawson with 9 points, who I also didn't see in the crowd tonight, who I suspect is still. Olivier Kierton with 7 points rounds out the top 10 in silver. Sevchik with 7 points in 11th place. Michael Wuchik with 4. Jordan Watson with 3. Nobody else received points for round 1 in the silver. I got confirmed by Stewie that at least Ryan Mawson is here this evening. We did the Super Bowl qualifying for World Tour, which will be in live next weekend in this basic time slot. And said he would be here. Certainly is. Well, here is the grid for tonight's race. 31 cars on the grid, Ted Edwards. That's a lot of cars for Monza. That's a lot of opportunity for issues down into turn 1.
the infamous turn 1 of Monza. Yeah. I'm hoping it's going to be a clean one, but I'm doubting that.
Well, if you are Juno Savalainen and you have qualified on the pole and you have also been a victim of many rear end collisions that have ruined your race, how do you keep it from happening here today on lap 1?
Then you get through it as quick as you can, Jesse.
Well, what does that mean?
Uh, don't know. I've never been at the front before.
Well, it's all about the start. You can sort of jump yourself out in front. Getting a clear turn one doesn't guarantee you anything here, but it gives you a little bit more peace of mind. You, regardless, unless you get a super extra Lewis Hamilton style start to a race, you're not going to get a free run into there. You're still going to have to defend to the inside if you are the leader, and you have to hope and pray everybody else plays nicely. We don't usually see spins in the first couple of rows. It's usually the accordion effect in the middle of the pack. It's where all the energy is generated. Somebody usually squirts off the track as well. Luckily, we have a whole fleet of stewards with us here this evening to sort it out in the case something would go wrong, but let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Yeah, I'd be very happy if it's a clean T1. Not just for the first lap, but obviously for the first couple of laps where everyone's all nice and bunched up and fighting for positions. But I'm just hoping that you don't get that one person that forgets to brake and, as you say, it makes that accordion effect where people just start hitting each other.
A lot of good looking cars. There's Stewie's favorite car on the right there. And no, that's the left, Stewie. That is the right lane, but that is the the left side of the grid. That's the car I'm talking about. The current car. He's just looking at all the cars. But oh, look at that. We got a couple of new painted cars as well. Of course, custom livery is a thing in RCI these days, and it's been a couple of weeks, so a couple of teams have had time to rethink their livery. You can change it mid-season. It's no problem whatsoever, and a couple of teams have elected to do that. One which team, Ted, that you painted the car for?
Yeah, I finished it off because I didn't finish it last time. Yeah, I got some more logos on there and put the nice roofing on top, and yeah, said to Grim, "You drive this," and he said, "I like it." So I need to make some more.
You're gonna make some more liveries.
Yeah, I'm gonna make some more. I need to make one for McKenna Santos for the DDC on a Wednesday. Yeah,
She could not be with us this particular Wednesday. She was on an airplane at that particular moment. I told her, I said, well, why don't you just bust out the rig on the plane, right? If you're in the air, you can have electronic devices, surely.
you're not a true sim race if you don't just whack one out on a plane.
Well, moving on from that, Seb Brunier brought up a very interesting point that I wasn't fully aware of. 26 cars qualified within a single second, something like 15 within half a second. Absolutely crazy, I agree. And Seb praying to the stewarding gods, brace yourself. Actually, went down there a little bit earlier before we went live tonight and had a little pre-game prayer with the group, because with this many cars, usually it does take some sorting. We have seen a 35 plus car grid here go completely fine. It was actually a night race that we were doing sometime last year, and there were very little contacts, no major calamity. Let's hope that that continues today. Other than that, couldn't be more perfect weather. Some clouds in the sky, but very nice air and road temperature. Shouldn't be a problem tonight. Expect every team will finish the race on the tires that they started the race on. Final predictions for the race, Ted Edwards.
I'm not going to bet on Seville Island again. That didn't work last time. Alex Rogers, P2. There we go.
I'm going to make a weird prediction. Everybody gets one prediction. My prediction, Samir Fosh is going to finish inside the top 10.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
I'm gonna take that one. I'm gonna take the high road on this one. Well, final moments to sort yourselves out. Ted Edwards, you've driven in races like this. What's your mental preparation like right now, right before you see the green flag?
Don't speed, don't crash into the person in front, watch for the people behind. That's how I start Monza.
That it's kind of similar to me. I use different verbiage though. For me, it's always don't embarrass yourself, don't embarrass yourself. Don't embarrass yourself. Uh, it's the same thing. It's don't speed, don't jump out of line, be in the right position, don't be going too slow, ride the brake a little bit to get that extra little bit that you can get in ACC. It's all do all these things, but realistically, it all boils down to do not embarrass yourself in front of all these people, because the last thing you want to do, especially from where I normally start, somewhere near the middle-ish, don't want all those people driving by you when you're facing the wrong way. Either way, 31 plus cars coming out of the Parabolica. 2x2 as far as the eye can see. The very early start finish line, a green flag, and immediately fanned out from the second row, nearly 3 wide, looking to be 4 wide down to the straight. He can't do that. There's going to run out of grass, and there is grass there, and he's going to have contact. Does he get back in? Oh, he ping pongs. One car shot off into the middle of the corner, side by side for the lead, as they're still 3 wide, sorting it out into the chicane. Not too bad, except the 4 wide into the grass move didn't seem to work.
That could have gone a lot worse than I was expecting that car to start spinning around and then everyone start bunching up. But the only person that came out worse on that one was Timothy Flamger, who had to take the escape road after getting hit in the side. So
oh, it's gone wrong here. Seconda Variante, several cars off, 2, 3 cars backwards now as they pulled over into the infield. And that's all they can realistically do. Was that the 19 car?
yeah, Flamger got spun. He got spun. As I was saying that, he got spun. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing for Flamger. He's going to be quite annoyed. Yeah, I wonder how much damage he's got since he's got hit in the side and now I think the tap shouldn't be too bad. No, I don't think he hit the barrier, so I think he's just got to try and get those tyres warmed up and get back into the race focused again.
Well, Phil Roberts, head steward, has told us that Madre in the 992 that nearly smacked the wall exiting Ascari, I believe it was. Ryan Mawson didn't talk about Ryan Mawson, didn't see Ryan Mawson, but now we do, as he's making a move for P11, because he's going to be stuck on the outside of Oliver in the 777 Honda. Almost had that move made. Going to have the overlap going down the inside, and right in front of them, Madre and it appears Silva going side by side. Silva has the preferred position into turn 1, but look at this. Look at the Honda, 3 wide with a head of steam. And look at this. How close do you like it? Ping pong maneuver back and forth. One car shot out of the middle. That's Madre, as that will actually gain him time. And I'm not sure the stewards will much care for that, but what else could there have done?
I think that's a racing incident. To me, that's a racing incident. I'm not too sure who was at fault there because you're racing for the corner, but yeah, Madre gets ping ponged off the track, which is unfortunate. And there goes the Lexus. Pretty sure the Lexus just took 2 places. There he is. Oh, bit of airborne there. Yeah. Oh, Martin Lawrence. No.
Martin Lawrence after a oh, what in the world? I would pay you some amount of money to have a longer version of that that looked catastrophic.
Is he still going on?
Well, looks like I owe Stewie some amount of money, and let's see what happens here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just okay. So it's just grass. What happened? Lawrence was trying to pass Cedar there, got into the grass. You cannot brake on the grass. That's why it looked like he was still going full speed. He had no braking, realistically, and shot right through there. That was about as quick as you can possibly go through. Luckily, he didn't end up continuing. This is the start of the race. A lot of little contacts there, but a little argy-bargy, but nothing too serious.
Bit of trading paint there. Where is this Lexus? What happened here? Oh, this was lap 1. Yeah. Problem is, when you're right behind someone, sometimes you can't see what's happening in the front because their car blocks your whole view. So when one car stops and you start bunching up, and yeah, you just can't stop it. It could have ended worse. Could have been more people spun around, more damage. So
Patrick
just,
Oliver loving this up inside the top 10, P8 for what I believe to be the Australian driver.
I do like that livery that they've got on that Honda.
It is very nice. It's a bit froggy, but it definitely stands out in a group. Remember when Grimm qualified 30th?
Oh, and then took third.
Well, no, I'm talking about right now.
Oh, you
Grimm
talk about
qualified
yeah, he's
30th
22nd.
today. He's
Yeah.
22nd.
I think he's done that strat again where he's staying out of danger.
Um,
He's very good at that.
hold on. Ryan Mawson is not leading the silver class. There's no way Mawson's leading the silver class. That's right. Mawson's P5. He's in 10th place overall. He's P5 in class. And we saw the very busy hands of Grim Lilith there. Grim races on a gamepad. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle there from Oliver. That's going to invite Madre up the inside. And this is an interesting drag race between the V8 and the Honda.
That is Sylvia.
That
not
is Silva, not
Madre.
Madre. Yeah.
Head into T1. Who's going to come out tops here? Someone.
Oh no! And that is Madre spun around. Ryan Mawson off the nose. Oh, and that's such a dangerous spot on the exit of the corner. Hard to get the car turned. Cars going left and right to avoid Madre. Madre has returned to the pit lane. And I don't think Ryan Mawson could have done anything to stay off of him. They stacked up in front of him, Silva and Oliver rather, going at it. And
he was the one who hit him straight in the face. That's what. Robin Barr hit him in the face. That's. I wonder if they will get penalised for that, for not paying attention. Pretty sure yellow flags would have been out by then, Jesse. Then there was an incident, and RJ was holding brakes by the looks of it, so a bit yikes in my eyes. But we'll see what the stewards do. See if they could chuck penalties at people.
Yeah, it's going to take some sorting. The stewards have told us that it's going to take some sorting. Oh, contact in Ascari, and that's only going to go one way. Sim Smeets goes for a spin with Thomas Pierce. Oh, wow. Smeets is on that curve. Smeets refused to lose. And rather unfortunately, they both go around.
Eight minutes in, and there's a lot of incidents. But
Robin Bopp, who the Danglin Wang Esports number 8, who had that heavy contact, now has Ellis and Large and even Madison behind them, all looking to get around them. That car certainly has to be damaged of Robin Bopp. In fact, surrenders that position to Mellis here.
Oh,
don't know what that car. That's John Watson, I'm being told, from 13th place. So the 147 Ferrari has spun into the infield for the Prima Variante.
Yeah, I think that Aston has a lot of damage because these cars are just flying by like it's nothing. Oh, Grim Lilith, that's Grim, you meant to stay out of danger.
Well,
not get in it.
Well, here's the thing. Grim did what
did,
you're actually supposed to do. There is a escape road line through the Seconda Variante that you're supposed to take, and I've never seen anyone actually do it, but Grim actually followed the line you're supposed to follow.
Didn't even know it was there because I don't see people take it. Now I do.
I knew it was there because I've seen people get penalized for not doing it in real life.
So, Jesse, you want to know what the pit requirements are for today?
Yeah, you're going to have to remind me, Ted, because, been 2 weeks.
So, it's 1 litre of fuel, tyres, and it's a 20-minute pit window.
Oh, that was a replay of Jordan Watson. That's how the 137 got stranded in the infield.
He did the right thing though. Did the right thing of reversing. A lot of people try and spin it around, which is not ideal. But yeah, they got tyres to take with a 20-minute pit window. So I think this is why it's the Robin Bar's not pitting to repair the damage. So I think Robin's going to try and hold on as much as he can, unless he's in the pit now. But no, he's not. So yeah, he's just going to try and hold on till that pit window opens.
Well, Ryan Mawson, the commentator cursed 101, has continued to gain. Said during Super Bowl to look for them near the back, and this is very much not that. In fact, E4 in class right now is Ryan Mawson. Let's take a look at Lucas Cedar, who's already had a adventurous day. See how this came together. Oh, little touch there.
Oh.
Second little touch. That was a unappreciative nudge.
I think everyone's just being really friendly with the hooks. Oh, that's the Honda.
Oh, I was gonna say Ryan Mawson's P7, and this is why. Patrick Oliver has spun backwards. That's at the exit of the second Lesmo.
I'm gonna say that's because of the low wing. I wonder if they are running that low wing and trying to use the mechanical grip on the rear to hold it on the track, and either the tyres have just got a bit warm from a bit of sliding and just lost it because of the wing. But yeah, that's unfortunate to be back within the gravel trap, but I'm pretty sure they can get that going again.
Because it'll jinx it, but I predicted Samir in the top 10, and we're only 12 minutes in, thereabout, and he's one position away. Qualified nowhere near the front, I think outside the top 20, or at least maybe 20th.
Let's see how he reels his portion.
He's made up a lot of time.
He's rowing. Yeah, that M6 is fast on the straight. I forgot how fast that was.
Well, let's reset the race for you. Juna Savalainen qualified on pole by just about half of a tenth. They have converted that in nearly a 2-second lead out in front. Happy days for Savalainen. Patrick Oliver, who spun off in the second Lesmo, has got it righted and gained a spot from Neil Pimlott here. Oh, well, on and off again. Does that count as a track cut, Ted Edwards?
I think so. It depends how fast you're going, I think. Depends if you gain as much time as you do. Not too sure. I don't really spend my time off the track to know, but
oh
yeah, I wouldn't advise it.
My goodness. Folks in the booth, we can't show you this, but we have just received, and I'm not laughing at their plight, I promise you, I'm laughing at how ridiculous this is. We are 12 minutes into this race, and in fact, this sheet only goes up to 10 minutes. But they have 53 reported lines of incidents in 10 minutes. That might be an RCI live stewarding record.
And it's with Night Owl. Wait, is that?
That's definitely not a good thing. As some more.
No, that's not a good thing, is it?
Now, a lot of those, Ted, will be racing incidents. I do steward occasionally, and I will say, a lot of this will be just they'll look at it and say, "Oh, nobody gained or lost anything. It was just side-by-side contact." But they still have to look at it. Is the important thing. Nothing is discounted. They take each incident in its own vacuum and make sure it's benign. And most of those are going to be, I'm assured, that there are, as we've seen, several high-profile incidents that have happened so far.
Yeah, I think a lot of them would be like little door bashes, little trade and paint incidents for the first few laps. So, and there's some of them are the big ones, but they'll get sorted out hopefully before the end of the race.
Yeah, the last thing we want is the stewards to have to do post-race stewarding, and the phrase that I hate to say at the end of every broadcast is pending post-race penalties. And hopefully that's not what happens today. Oh, look at that! Grim Lilith all the way sideways. Drift competition here in Italy.
Oh, I know what this is. He's holding off mine.
Oh,
Oh, that's a Honda again, right?
oh no, that's the Frog Stomp car, isn't it? The 777, it
Yeah.
is.
It's again, Lesmo 2. He's not having fun with that corner today. But yeah, Grimm's trying to hold off that V12 from mine. They're friends. They want to race, and Grimm is trying to hold him off. Obviously, it is a battle
Are
for
Grimm and Robin friends?
mine.
Oh, Grimm and Martin. That's right. Okay, sorry, I lost the plot. I was
Look at
reading
that
something in the
speed.
background. Martin Lawrence going around the outside. That is a power move right there
Nice.
by Martin Lawrence.
Oh, and he says bye. God, that V12. You don't realise how much of that V12 has speed, and poor Porsche even.
Oh,
with
he's
the
going
slipstream
by
is
someone
not
else. Look,
catching.
he's going by Robin Baugh now. 276 Ks down the straight, says Stewie, and hate to borrow a line from my good friend, but I will do, as Ryan Mawson would say, be seeing you.
I think Grimm will get past Robin. Robin's been dropping back since he's had that damage, which is unfortunate. But I believe in 4 minutes 15 the pit window opens, so he can get that damage repaired. Oh my god.
Oh, boys, please be civil about this.
That
Oh my goodness.
Martin has, I think Martin's won send of the day.
Well, the night
That was a
is,
2-car overtake.
Ted, the night is young. Let's not say that yet.
True.
Oh dear. Well, I can tell you our chat, which we are reading chat, folks at home. I will say, not pleased about a lot of the contact and racing here tonight, and I think I agree with you. There's been some questionable incidents, but well, the stewards will sort that out in due time. We'll bring you all those updates when we get them. As for right now, though, I would like to say things are calming down, but that'd be a bold-faced lie.
Yeah, I think you'd be lying to yourself, Jesse, if you were saying that. Because we're 17 minutes in and they're still going at it. Which is nice to see, but I think once the pit stops happen, then it'll sort of even out for a little bit. And then once all pit stops are finished, then we're back on full ahead racing.
Well, let's go ahead and try to sort some of these incidents out. Racing incident between the 187 and the 62. A warning for car 67 for forcing the 88 off track. Racing incident between the 46 and the 101. Racing incident between the 147 and the 29. Warning for car 66 for attempting to overtake the 199 off track. Warning for 66, rejoining unsafely causing contact. Second warning increased to a 5-second penalty. Drive-through for car 66 for then taking out the 19. Those all happened lap 1, turn 1 for car 66.
Who is car 66? They're having a
Car
bad day.
66, where are you? Well, what I can tell you is that drive-through does not erase that 5-second penalty, so they will have to serve a drive-through in 3 laps and then do the 5-second penalty on their pit stop, Ted.
It's P1 Silver is a 66, and that's gonna hurt. That's gonna really hurt, especially this early on in the race, Jesse.
Well, what that's going to do, I mean, that's all but going to eliminate them from competition here is what that's going to do, and that will move everybody else up a bit, at least inside. Oh, man. I'm trying to figure out how far they're going to fall. They might fall out of the top 20.
Yeah, but it's still very close, even with all the incidents that have been happening. But what I would have done is pitted now, but they're in T1 already, so I would have pitted, got my drive-through done. Well, not pitted, but do my drive-through, and then 3 laps later would have done my pit stop, got on my fresh tyres. But they've opted just to run. I think you have up to 3 laps before where you need to save your drive-through, so they've got 2 laps left on that, where you get I think a DQ, so see what happens with them.
Nellis by Phil Malzer, Pimlott on Robin Baugh. Both passes conducted very nicely, I would say, as just in front of them Thomas Pierce and Grimm racing it out. Grimm looks like to have won that fight, and now it is on Neil Pimlott to get by Thomas Pierce. Going to try to go around the outside. If you can hold it here, you can get this run down into the Seconda Variante. I don't think he's done that on this particular occasion. Still looking down to the inside, nothing doing too far back. Grimm did get P19 though. Martin Lawrence has disappeared up the road in the 171 you'd expect from the V12. Mir Foch is inside the top 10 now, your championship leader coming into today for Pro, the 88 in P10. Looking very nice. It's going in the right direction, isn't it?
It is for you, but Alex is still third. Alex, you're 6 seconds behind. Come on, move along. Get faster.
I didn't mean for me. I just meant for a championship leader. You don't want to lose your championship lead. He had a listen.
Oh.
He had a hard day ahead of him, and he's done a lot of the heavy lifting already. But you know what they say: the closer you get to the front, the harder the passes are to make.
True. And see here, Jesse Lee, Martin Lawrence is a drive-through. So we have incident lap 1, turn 4 involving the 60 and the 171. Drive through for car 171. 171 takes out the 60. Position not given back.
That is going to put a huge damper on Race Car Jesus's day, as some have decided to come into the pit lane here, including Martin Lawrence. Says, wow, the floodgates have opened here. 40 minutes left to go in the race. Actually 39 now. Several cars in the pit lane. Silva is in. Madison is in. Phil Malter, Lawrence, Bob Martins, Pervins. 187's also in, doing their pit stop early. Any reason why they might be jumping at the chance to come in this early?
Maybe their tires are like a bit cooked, Jesse, from all the fighting, or they just want to get out of the dirty air and get into some that clean air. Like for instance, with Pimlott and Lilith, and you got Smeets all fighting here, they'll probably be losing half a second lap, maybe. All this fighting, defending, attacking. So if I was either one of them,
I thought Sim was gonna try it. I thought he was gonna do it. He didn't.
if I was either of them, I would have pitted. Just get some of that, get some fresh rubber and get some clean air. But depends what your strategy is, I guess, at the end of the day.
Well, of course, we are continuing to get live penalty reports. A drive-through for car 992 doesn't have enough space for the 19. And let me read exactly what it says. The 992 doesn't leave enough space for the 19 alongside them while avoiding the 60 and the 171 accident. Then takes out the 19, position not given back. So a drive-through for the 992. A warning additionally for the 992 for corner cutting, retaining position. A drive-through for car 60 for taking out the 93 position out return. Racing incident between the 995, the 46, and the 131. Coming in fast and heavy now, Ted.
Yeah, I think they just want to churn through them, don't they? They got so many incidents. They just need to get some of them free, get some of them penalties out that most of the drivers do deserve for stuff they could have avoided, I guess. I've been in situations where I could have avoided an accident, but I caused the accident because I didn't think. So I think they just want to get them out, get people reshuffled, rather than 5 minutes at the end of the race dump all of them on.
Grimm did not pull over for Neil Pimlott here. Neil Pimlott's on a charge. Grimm is fighting tooth and nail here. How will this go in the Seconda Variante? The pretty simple for both of them. Contact, and so goes Neil Pimlott hard into the wall. That's major damage for the VR Racing 913. Grimm's waiting, but my goodness, a dangerous moment there. And who was that? That was Sim Smeets who got through there clean as a whistle.
Yeah, that was good by Grimm, but I don't think he had to wait because Pimlott was turned round. But it's good sportsmanship to wait that long. So gotta give it to him. It was very friendly, and I don't think he'll get a penalty. I don't know if it was his fault though.
Yeah,
Could have
but
been.
but you know what though? Regardless if it was Grimm's fault or not, he did the right thing because the
Yeah,
stewards will look at that. Grimm knows how the stewards think, and the stewards will see Grimm waited, and if it is his fault, that's a lesser penalty. If it's not his fault, he gets a pat on the back for being a gentleman.
yeah.
It's a
And
win-win.
Grim knows as I thought that was a lunge. Then I got scared. Grim knows as being a steward himself that if you don't wait and it is your fault, that penalty is going to come down a lot harder. Yeah, Pimlot's going to go for the pit, and Grim's still going round. I wonder if Grim's going to go for another 10 minutes. Got clean air now, so surprise me.
Well, if you're driving a Honda and you're in this race, things have not gone well for you. 2 SG30s for speeding. Madison's number 60 Honda and Oliver's 777 Honda as the nightmare continues for both of those drivers as they will have to come in for a stop go 30 at some point. Audrey taking the interesting line through the second chicane there. But yeah, double instantaneous stop go 30s for speeding in the pit lane. And it's actually a little bit worse than that for the 777. They got a 5-second penalty added to that as well. That is a steward's penalty. And that is for cutting the track and gaining a position on the 131 unfairly. Position not given back. So a stop go 30 and additional 5 seconds. And I don't think you can serve a 35-second stop and go. So I think you got to come in twice for that again. And a racing incident for the 199 and the 171. For those of you keeping score at home, we're up to lap 2 now for the penalty reports coming out.
And we're on lap 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long night in the steward shed. The 171 is crashed in a Ascari, and Martin Lawrence has retired the CLR car. This was all by himself. Hops the curb, loses traction, bonks into the wall, as Mike Jones would say. That's a Mike Jones style bonk. And Martin Lawrence has had just about enough of Monza, Italy.
Yep, no, that's his day done.
Unfortunate. Martin Lawrence had served his drive-through. He was back out there just trying to make time, and all by himself. Unforced error.
Just one of those things. You're trying that hard to try and get that time back, trying to finish somewhere rather than finishing last, and then you just little things happen and you end up in a wall. I've done it many a times.
Hey, do you guys know this guy? We know this guy. This is Juna Savaline and the 100 BMW. Sounds weird to say, to be honest, but the still getting slower BMW doing anything but 2.2 seconds in front of Stachecki in second place. Alex Rogers having a quiet third place race today, 10 seconds adrift of the 144. Lucas Cedar in fourth place and Sun in the 888 are the top 5. Sun leading the silver class. Ryan Mawson P2 in that class today, and Kierton in the 111 Lamborghini of all things in third place. But of course, we are in the middle of the pit cycle here. Remind us all, Ted Edwards, what they have to do for their pit stop today.
They'll need to take a fresh set of rubber tires, rather rubber, not plastic. 1 litre of fuel, and that is it in the 20-minute pit window you have.
There you have it. The pit requirements today. Robin Baugh, who has made their pit stop, fighting their way back through the field a little bit. This with Miguel Martins. Don't know if this is done and dusted yet. There's going to be contact there. Robin Baugh for Miguel Martins. You be the judge. Who was at fault for that?
You can tell that Aston's got that speed back again. They must have had a lot of damage on that front end. So, yeah, like I said, Robin Barr was just waiting for that pit window to open to just do everything in one go. Tires, fuel, and yeah, pit requirements. I can't get my words out, Jesse.
Well, I can certainly get this out. A warning for car 187 for avoidable contact with the 44. A 5-second penalty for car 420 for forcing the 111 off track. And a drive-through penalty for Kierton in the triple one, taking out the 62 position not returned. That back on lap 2, turn number 7. So third place currently in silver has a drive-through as well.
I forgot we had a Lamborghini in Split 1. It's quite nice to see a Lamborghini. I do like the sound of it.
Somewhere out there in the ether, Ryan Gill smiling.
You say Lamborghini, Ryan Gill hears it.
I once told him I didn't much care for Lamborghini, and he refused to talk to me for a month.
I do the same. I do like a Lamborghini, Jesse Lee.
I'm not. Lamborghini is a very fascinating race car. It makes a very nice sound as well. I know understated from some of the other cars, but just like the way that it sounds. And I've just never been a big fan of the way it handles an ACC.
He just slide it for every corner. That's what I used to do.
Stachecki has done their pit stop, so it's Samir Foch. Foch came in a lap ago, trading a top 10 spot for the required stop. Everybody has to come in, take the tires, and they can freely go about their business. What you don't want to do is have to come down again. Several drivers have already had to do that. One driver in particular has had to come down pit road 3 times so far in the race. We didn't talk about the weather today, and that's because there isn't really anything to talk about. Absolutely gorgeous weather, 23 degrees. Track 20 degrees ambient. Track could not be more perfect for a race this evening.
I had the admin shouting at me the other day. It wasn't going to be sunny. They shouted at me hard, Jesse.
Oh, that's right. I may have been privy to a conversation about what the track conditions were going to be like this week. And that is correct. I didn't even remember that. That was so far long ago. Yeah. So the track conditions changed.
They did. Yeah, Tom Brighton was just shouting at me and yeah, made me cry a little. I wasn't going to change it, but then I changed it because everyone then started shouting at me. Even the stewards. But no. To be honest, I think a dry Monza's better than a wet Monza.
My experience is when the stewards are mad at you, that's probably worst case scenario. So maybe err on the side of caution on that one, perhaps a little bit. Well, it's hard to tell where the silver leader is, where they're going to come out versus some of the cars that have pitted. I don't know if Sun is going to hold on to the lead after the stop, after everyone stopped. We don't really know that. I do know that Mawson should be in some podium spot, but what I find interesting about that is Ryan is only 5.5 seconds behind Sun for the lead in that class, and I think Mawson might be gaining ever so slightly. Either that or everybody else is falling away around him.
He's not. He's his last lap compared to Sun was, calculating it, 7/10 off. So, but obviously that was only a last lap, so that could have been anything. That could have been a bad marker, but see what Ryan can do in this old Beamer.
Pierce meets Lilith in the pit lane. So is your leader, Juna Savalainen. Cedar, Sun, and now Ryan Mawson all in the pit lane.
Alex Rogers is leading.
Alex
That's something you don't
Rogers
see every day.
We did. I think I've seen it fairly consistently recently. Actually,
I have,
Rogers
yeah, no.
near
Gotta
the
give it
front,
to him.
but
He is quick. It's just sometimes he has races where he ends up getting taken out, I think is what happens with Alex, which is a shame.
didn't that actually happen at Spa a little bit as well 2 weeks ago? I can't. For me, it all sort of runs together, but yeah, it's Savalainen has a similar issue where Savalainen, completely out of his own hands, has issues that takes him out of positions for podiums and wins. Rogers a little bit of the same, if I'm honest, but today going really well for the 119, and the moment leading this race. The other leaders have decided that it was the time to come in, but not Rogers Large or Sivchik now. And you have to ask yourself, especially in Rogers' case, who's fighting for a podium, when do you come in?
Or the pit window closes, Jesse.
Well, I got me with that one. Obviously, that I think he's coming in this time. Otherwise, you wouldn't be pulling out like that. Or I could be crazy. No, I am correct.
You're
That
correct.
was definitely the pit line. That's the one I take anyway when I pit here. That's what I was basing that off of. I could have just been making that up, right? I just was basing that off what I do, and I was like, well, I'm not everybody. Maybe I'm weird, but yes, that is the international sign of I'm pitting, not running out the parabolica. The only time you'd choose to take the inside is that if you're trying to pass somebody. Really?
Grim's fighting with is that Miguel Martins? So yeah, there's a fight going on there. Got there's Lehman and Sun fighting, not for an overall position. Not for a class position, but for an overall position. See if the Triple Eight can hold off the Baron.
Matt
Thinking
Lehman, the Hillmount Racing. Lehman is almost the best last name.
If you take the man off, then yeah, it'd be the best name ever, right?
Yeah, if his name was Matt Lee, that'd be the best name ever. But it's almost the best name ever, Matt. You got most of the way there. Trying to overtake the 888 now, as Lehman is in between Sun and Mawson. There was a 5 or so second gap. Mawson did gain a little bit in the pit lane, about a second, I would say, about 0.8 to a second, give or take. But still now has a car in between them. Now, if Lehman races Sun fairly hard, that will bring Mawson back up into this fight. Phil Large has completed their pit stop and is out in front of the field that have pitted. Sevchek leads overall and in the silver class, but has a pit stop to make, and also an additional 5 seconds that they will be set in the box stationary.
Phil Large where is Phil Large gone? Oh, he's there. What's that? 6th place? 5th place? Started 26th overall. Now he's sitting in 11th. That's pretty good going.
It just goes to show you what a race without an incident can do for you. Sevchek in the pit lane, the last of the cars, the last of the holdouts, pits from the lead.
He'll also be, I believe he'll be saving that 5 seconds on top. So that's going to put him a little bit behind from where he was. Yes, that's everyone finished.
Seb Brunier in chat's pointed out something that we missed, that somebody did hit the pit marker board. I didn't notice it was gone. But eagle-eyed Seb Brunier. I saw the pit marker board there. I'm not sure if that's where it's supposed to be or if that's some sort of trickery in my mind. But Matt Lehman, the Canadian driver, trying to overtake Sun for 6th place overall. Oh, he's going to get it wrong here. Nearly runs into the back of Sun. And he's going to do the thing that you're supposed to do, and that's run out the chicane. And yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it. That's the way it's supposed to work. Nothing gained or lost.
I'm guessing they had more speed than they used to when then hit the braking zone where they normally hit it and forgot they were carrying that extra like couple of miles an hour. That's why they went off.
All right, folks. Look, it's night out. It's late. We're not above making jokes, and Stewie's brought one to my attention. Now I have to say it. Lehman, who very nearly had contact with Sun there. Do you suspect if Matt Lehman got married, his wife would be Lee Woman? And that's the show, folks. Thanks for watching Night Owl season, what are we on, 9?
And we
Yeah.
see Grim Lilith going
No
after Mike.
refunds.
Yeah. God's sake.
Stewie brought it up. I had to say it. It's funny. Um, to me anyway. I appreciate it, Stewie. Grim Lilith is indeed trying to get back inside the top 20. Miguel Martins.
We have some 5 seconds dished out. I can't remember where you stopped off, Jesse. There's too many incidents here. I'll start I'll start with this one. Incident on lap 2, 10-11 involving the 913 and the 60. 5 seconds for the 60, forces the 913 off track, position not return. We got incident on lap 3, lap 4, turn 3 involving the 777, the 995 race incident. We got turn 3 again, lap 4, 995, the 992 racing incident. Lap 4, turn 3 involving the 992 is at 5 seconds for the 8 car, fails to avoid a spun car causing avoidable contact. Incident on lap 4, turn 2 involving the 19, the 913 is a racing incident with minor contact. And last on this list, we've got lap 4, turn 6 involving the 548 and the 17 is a racing incident.
You got really close to where I left off. It was very close indeed. I don't know if we mentioned it as we go to race replay here. What's happened to Sun in the Lesmos? Oh, loses it on exit of Lesmo 1. Yes, indeed. Tell us what happened there, Ted. Explain to us what happened to Sun there.
What I'm guessing from there is hit Lesmo 2, the front right tyre dropped into that nice groove of the curve. That's really annoying. Brings the front in, rear round, catches the exit curve and just spins in more. That's what I'm guessing from there, Jesse. And now Ryan Mawson's in the lead.
Yeah, Ryan Mawson. He's the fastest slow car I've ever seen. By the way, you got close to where I stopped. Just to recap, this may be a rehash of things we've already said, but there's a drive-through for car 420, warning for car 187, no further action between the 187 and the 171. I believe we did read those. 5 second for car 60 for forcing the 913 off track, position not returned. Actually, no, that's stuff those are brand new ones. No, that's stuff we've read. There's so many of them in lap 2, turn 7. It is hard for us to actually keep count of where we were.
That's why I just read from anywhere. I was just hoping it was
right.
Right
in that case, you were perfect.
Thank you.
Yes, Stewie. I know he did those 2 minutes ago now, but at the time, I had a mark in the. You know how you have like a bookmark? I had sort of something like that, and I don't know why it was there, because I definitely was following along whenever you read them out. They are done with lap 2, by the way. They're caught up. Mostly, I suspect they're on more recent accidents. I'll actually stop short of saying that they're caught up because I don't necessarily think that's true. This is the leader of the race, Judah Savalainen, had a clean pit stop, has had a clean race. Had the pole position, has the Speed Juice fastest lap of the race, and looks unstoppable at this venture. Ted, one of the hardest things you do in racing is keeping yourself focused. You have a nice lead, the biggest it's been this entire race, 6.2 over Stachecki. How do you stay not only motivated, but focused in on finishing a race off like this that has seen all sorts of things happen around you, but you have had a clean race? How do you keep it from going wrong in the last 16?
You just focus on your corner entries and exits, I would say, Jesse, especially around here with the infamous sausage curves, especially in this chicane. You can easily hit them and end up in the gravel or in the wall, and that ruins your race. It slows you down. It's just what? It's like this, Jesse. Perfect example of not hitting the curbs. That was Jordan Watson finding that exit corner of the Ascari. It's got a massive non-cut curb on it, which caught with his back left and yeah, went for a nice spin. Yeah, not doing things like that is the best way of just keeping going. Is just focusing on your line and not really focusing on how far the car back is, but always having a look now and then, just so if you're off your pace. But it's just those little things you gotta try and focus on. Like playing a game with yourself, it's keeping your brain going rather than just. You could easily just fall into a relaxed position and not care anymore, and then that's when you end up like further back.
Hello to Les Stevenson, who joins us late this evening for the end of the race. Boy, Les, if you weren't here earlier, you sure missed a lot. There's a lot that went on in this one. Les, of course, is my commentary partner on Fridays. We had a good race yesterday as well. A brilliant race at Zandvoort. A crazy race here for Night Owl. Spoiled for choice here at RCI TV. Samir Foch started outside the top 20 or thereabout, has raced all the way inside the top 10. P7 now, 4.4 away from Ryan Mawson in 6th place. Does he have enough time to get there? Well, I'll try to do the math and figure that out. Something that doesn't require the math, and I'm going to stir the pot here a little, Ted Edwards. For those of you at home that may not be privy to the inner workings of RCI broadcasting, Stewie, otherwise known as Benjamin Heilman, is our broadcaster for Night Owl this season. Next season, it's going to switch. Ryan Mawson's going to be our broadcaster with us on Saturday night, and Stewie's going to be racing in Night Owl next season, season 10. Does this put any pressure, Ted Edwards, on Benjamin Heilman to win a race next season?
I would say so, yeah. Depends if he's in the Porsche.
I don't think he can contractually drive anything else. I don't think his mind will allow him to race anything.
I don't think Stewie competes with any other car. Like, he just doesn't know how they work. Doesn't know where the on button is.
I can honestly tell you, I think I've seen Stewie race 2 other cars in the entirety of the time of knowing Stewie, and I think he didn't like neither one of them. It's like a blanket, like a security blanket, isn't it? The Porsche for Stewie. It's going to be very interesting to see what Stewie can do next season. Just saw a couple of interesting things that have popped up. The right-hand side of the timing scoreboard looks like a teenager's face again, and for good reason. 5-second penalty for the 131 for squeezing the 29 off track. A drive-through for car 29 for being off track, but continues, hits a curb, and takes out the 131. So both parties at fault for various infractions for that particular accident. Racing incident between the 8 and the 14. 5-second penalty for 131 for avoidable contact on the 29. A 15-second penalty for car 548 for taking out the 46. Position given back. A drive-through for car 88 for taking out the 147. Position not given back. No further action between the 548 and the 46. Racing incident between the 14 and the 18. Racing incident between the 8 and the 60. Take a look at the replay.
Oh.
Yes.
Whee! Oh yeah, I remember that. He reversed.
Did indeed. I don't think any of the drivers were saying that during that. They were probably saying things we cannot say. You're on RCI TV.
I would be.
Oh my goodness. Racing incident between the I already said that. Racing incident between the 19 and the 93. Racing incident between the 199 and the 888. No further action between the 762 and the 8. Racing incident between the 913 and the 777. For those of you keeping score at home, we are now on lap 7.
Not in the race though.
No, not
That's
in the
not
race.
a good thing.
A 5-second penalty for car 147 for pushing the 913 off as they continue to come in, even as I'm reading them. They're still on lap 7. Racing incident between the 762 and the 147 and the 171. The 762 and the 171 get a run on the 147, minor contact. The 147 loses control mid-corner and then takes out the 762. Alpha, what are you doing to me? 15-second penalty for car 147 for taking out the 762, but loses more time. Alpha, please.
Uh, this night out is good for racing. I promise.
Well, it's definitely given the stewards a workout. They have been, and this is the biggest problem with the stewarding department we have here. Occasionally, they don't get enough workload because the racing is so very clean most of the time. Well, they're definitely getting a workout tonight. That is certainly for sure. I want to go back to one of the penalties, the drive-through for Samir Foch, the 88 that took them out of a top 10 finishing position all the way back in P14. I don't think they're going to advance much from that position, but even still for Foch, that is decent enough considering where they started in that car. But unfortunately, it could have been a lot better.
Yeah, what is he? He was P19 he started. So yeah, I always think to it when I do a race, and I'm always ahead of my qualies. That's an improvement. I'll take that, even if it's by one place. I have not gone backwards. I have gone forwards. So if I was Foch, I'd take it. You know, you had a penalty. It was a deserved penalty because there was no waiting. So it was a harsher one, and he served it and carried on the race. Shows us that he's willing to finish and it's not annoyed him much.
Other drivers that will have been looking for a slightly better finish, Timothy Flamger as well, and that's who Sevchik is working on. Sevchik, while we're at it, Jacob Sevchik, the same thing as well. Would have been looking for a better finishing position based on the start here today. Neither one's going to get it, but one of these is going to get a top 10 spot. And it looks like it's going to be Sevchik who's going to take that spot. That looked almost committal between the two of them there. Alpha continuing to work me hard here. 15-second penalty for the 913 for taking out the 147. Position given back. 5-second penalty for car 62 for avoidable contact with the 171. Racing incident for the 62. And a racing incident again for the 62 and the 8. And I'm being told by Alpha that they are 1 or 2 reviews away from actually being caught up. They're now on lap 15. There's been very few in the recent laps. Look at this side by side.
Who's this Grim Lilith and Smeets? Does not have that straight line speed. Oh, careful, Grim. So the person that's I've just looked at to see where they started in qualifying is Lehman. Was started 23rd and now is P4, P5. That's a massive improvement on their qualifying position. They've got to be proud with that, Jesse.
Who are you talking about, Ted? I'm sorry. I was
Lehman, the 67. Started 23rd and now he's in 5th.
That is a fantastic job that Lehman has done. The 67 McLaren trying to get back up where they probably feel like they belong. Definitely going to be a strong finish for Matt Lehman, the almost best name in sim racing.
Yep. Oh, look at all them penalties, Jesse. You just can't stop looking at them. They're just there.
Well, every time I look away from the penalty board, Alpha puts another one on there. Head steward tonight, I believe, is Phil Roberts, but the head steward isn't usually the one that hands us the slips of paper with the penalties on them. That's usually just one of the stewards or the race controller, depending on what night of the week it is. Alpha is one of the ones that usually does it, and absolutely giving me a run for my money. Racing incident between the 115 and the 913. 115 moves slightly, or could have moved slightly to the right. The 913 came across both drivers equally at fault for that spin. Did we set a racing incident record tonight? It's got to be close.
Yeah, we probably have. I'm not gonna lie. It's not been great for instance today, but that's Monza.
Oh, I'm incorrect. Tom Bryant is the head steward for. What happened here? Tio Anton, a bit too far back for this to be a multi-car incident. Oh, no, this is the view from what happened in front of them and free position.
Plus
I believe
one.
that was Rudy Philmalter that went into the wall there.
Me and Mike Jones used to have a thing when we used to race together at night owl. In the lower split was every time we'd gain a position by someone crashing out or making a mistake like that, we would always go +1. Because we never really did any overtaking on anyone. It was just we always get by people who made a mistake. That was our little
So,
thing we did.
talking about Rudy Philmalter for a minute, he's actually, believe it or not, Rudy Philmalter is the background on my my broadcasting PC, the one that I'm on right now with all the monitors. Rudy Philmalter had a massive accident the other week. I don't remember what champ that was. I think that was the end of the previous Monday championship that we did. He had a massive crash at the top of the corkscrew at Laguna Seca. So bad, in fact, it broke ACC's physics for a moment. His car literally looked like it was from the movie Cars. The tires and everything were disconjointed from the actual car. Jake the Bosmeister Boswell, who was broadcasting, snapped a few photos. He sent them to me, and now he's the background. I wish he would prefer it not to be that way, Rudy, but he is. He's my current hero. That I've never seen a car do that in ACC, and I hope I never get to see it again. But just completely disconnected from the rest of the car with the tires, breaking the physics. Rudy Philmalter, so fast, even in a crash, breaks the physics of the game.
I wonder who that was because I saw that and thought that's impressive.
That was Rudy Philmalter in his Samurai Lexus, I believe.
That deserves a medal.
I don't actually know if Rudy knows that's what we did with that photo. I certainly he's seen it, but yeah, he's been my background. I've had to explain it to a few people on what they're looking at, really, because like I said, it does not look right. Raphael Huell fighting Watson for P19. Both these cars have penalties. Now, here's the interesting thing about that. Huell could have stayed behind Watson and still got that spot because Huell has the lesser amount of penalties. But pass is a pass, they say, as we at the final few moments. Huell makes the pass and relieves all doubt.
Yeah, that's one thing when it comes to when you both have penalties is calculating, doing a bit of Jesse maths, and seeing where you're going to end up. Do you need to overtake? Do you not need to overtake? How far in front or how far behind? Like how far in front do I need to be to get out of that range, that 5-second range, or how far do I need to be closer if you're behind them to not be knocked out of that position? It's a little bit weird when you got the penalties on both cars, or even just on one car. But you know, always fun when you got a penalty, I guess.
Speaking of calculations, I've just figured out what Ryan Mawson's car is supposed to be. Ted Edwards, do you recognize that livery at all?
Nope.
No idea what that's from.
Nope.
Have you ever played a little racing game from, I don't know, 2007 called Need for Speed Most Wanted?
Right. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, I think because Ryan Mawson's a massive nerd, I think that's what he's done to his BMW. But instead of it being blue and silver, it's purple and silver.
That's why it didn't click, Jesse.
Well, I'll tell you something else. Savalainen has been driving a all red AMG for the last couple of seasons. Took us forever. He used to drive a blue car. It took us forever to get that through our head that Savalainen drove a all red AMG. Well, in Night Owl series, obviously trying something different, driving a very light red, almost pink and white BMW, though My eyes have let me down before. It's going to be the last lap of the race coming across the line with 55 seconds left. It's been clean sailing for Savalainen, the getting slower or the still getting slower 100 BMW. He's done nothing but gap the field tonight. He needed a good night to get back in it, and he certainly has done exactly that. The only thing I would ask myself, and it'd be of no consequence to him, but does he realize what's happened around him all night long?
I don't think he knows, Jesse. He's been so far out in front doing his own race that yeah, he's not. I don't think he actually seen a crash. I don't think he's seen anyone spin on the road either. He
That's a
has a
good
ten.
point. That's kind
Hmm.
of the point, right? Because he's it's happened all around him, but it's never been directly in front or behind him. Savalainen probably gonna join the post race chat. So many drivers often do, and see a lot of upset race car drivers and really confused how and what happened. But what can you say about the kind of day Savalainen's had? He needed an excellent run here. He converted pole position into a great start. He's done nothing but gap everyone. It was very slow in the first 30 minutes, only gained about 2.5 seconds. But after the pit stop, absolutely tearing it up. It was 6.5. Now it's 11 seconds to Stachecki in second place. Savalainen faster every day, better and out in front. Converted that, and can you believe it? Juna Savalainen is going to win in Night Owl again.
Yeah, perfect race by Silverlinen. As always, just kept it clean and just started first. You finished first.
Christoph Stachecki, a brilliant second place. The 144 didn't put a foot wrong today and will be rewarded with a boatload of points. The same could be said for Alex Rogers in third place. The 119 BMW saw some things happen around him today, but outlasted everyone else to convert the podium. But what about Ryan Balson? Came out of nowhere to win this race in silver. A brilliant race. It happened around him today as well. Said no thank you, converted it to the dub, and Sun as well, the 888 BMW. A nice job hanging on. And for Thiago Silva for a championship defense, it could not have been better considering what happened around the 995. A deserving podium all around for both. And a race to the line there, and some
That was
extracurriculars
close.
perhaps between those two drivers. The minor position still being fought over. Rudy Philmalter has a tangible lead.
And Anton get that excellent.
And Anton trying to get the spot back, but I don't think it's going to happen.
That's
Damage done. Rudy Philmalter will get a top 15 after all of that tonight. Ted, this is the kind of race, no matter where you finish, you make it to the checkered flag, you feel like you've done something.
yeah. As long as you finish. Yep. That's not how you take that, but sure.
Let's be clear, that was a celebration, not frustration.
That's yep. There is
There's
a
there's
difference.
a lot of frustration, but that was definitely a celebration for making it to the end of the race. The result of the race confirmed. I don't feel like post-race stewarding will be necessary. I think they got them all in, but here you have it. Savalainen, Stachecki, Rogers, your podium in pro. Mawson, Sun, and Silva in the silver class. What a race we saw. A lot of penalties changed the race in silver, and Mawson able to convert that. Savalainen just refused to lose tonight. Unfortunately, we got to take another 2-week break before we get back to race number 3. But maybe when we get there, it will make the racing all the more better. One thing I do know for sure, Ted Edwards, the championship, the points anyway, are completely turned on their head after this.
Yeah, I think with the people that got the penalties, have just been moved back, and it's still going to be different. I'm going to have a look later when I've thought it all through and see where people end up, because it's yeah, it's been a race today, Jesse.
It sure has. The only safe one is the Silver Points Championship leader, Thiago Silva, who converted another podium today, while everyone else they were racing against seemed to struggle just a bit. So, if anything, Thiago Silva gained on his competition and has a nice little cushion now. But we will see what happens in 2 weeks' time. No night out next weekend. The 8 hours of Laguna Seca will take its place here for the World Tour on Saturday. You'll join me, Ted, Stewie, and a whole host of others for the broadcast of that race. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Don't want to miss that. Of course, our next race live is on Monday, the Challenge Championship or the Challenge Cup. We've got the Lamborghini ST, the Ferrari Challenge car, and the new Porsche Cup car. Three different classes on the track at the same time. You're not going to want to miss that. Those are three of the four cars, or three of the five cars actually, from the new DLC that just came out a week or so ago. We're gonna have them all race together, similar pace, all of those cars as well, and we're going to sort it out in the crucible of motorsport. A big thank you to our partners that make this race and every race possible as well. Race Department, your source of sim racing news and information. AK Informatica for providing our server solutions. Driver 61, you can get 25% off your driver coaching by using our discount code at driver61.com. Driver coaching can make you a faster and better racing driver. Fanatec.com, feel free to use our affiliate link when making purchases of quality sim racing hardware at fanatec.com. Doesn't cost you a penny, and it may help us with things like server costs when you do it. And simracing.gp, if you're tired of the pub racing scene and can't get enough racing, you can join simracing.gp, join a community, and signing up is, of course, free to do. Ted Edwards, final thoughts on round two of Night Out.
That was a race. It's very good.
Excellent.
Silver Lining did very well. Just to keep going. That was that was it really. Silver Lining just took it.
Well, the M6 won in both classes, which makes you wonder what the best car actually was today. We promised you a little bit of a mix, and we kind of delivered that. We had two BMWs on the podium in Pro and two in Silver as well. Makes you think, but what a race it was. It's going to take some sorting out. I'm almost glad we have a couple of weeks. Of course, the slate of races this week. The Monday champ starts up. I told you about that. Diamond Drive on Wednesday. The Friday championship, the GT Sprint Series. And of course, next Saturday, the World Tour Round 3, the 8 hours of Laguna Seca. We had a huge shakeup in the qualifying today. Trust me, you will not believe, and I hate to sound like this, but you will not believe what car and what team are on pole for that race. You're going to have to tune in next Saturday and find out. Well, that's just about it for us for Night Out for this week. I've been Jesse Lee, joined by Ted Edwards and Stewie in the box. A big thank you to our admins, our stewards, and everybody who makes this race possible. Thank you all very much for joining in and tuning in on your Saturday night, wherever you are in the world. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.